Every single day, over 2 billion cups of coffee are consumed worldwide. That means somewhere around 700 billion coffee beans are harvested, processed, and transformed each year to satisfy our global caffeine addiction. But have you ever wondered how those tiny green seeds make their incredible journey from remote mountain farms to your local cafe? The scale is absolutely mind-boggling. Brazil alone produces over 3 billion pounds of coffee annually, while countries like Colombia, Ethiopia, and Vietnam each contribute hundreds of millions of pounds to global supply chains. These numbers represent one of the most sophisticated agricultural operations on Earth, involving precision farming techniques, cutting-edge processing technology, and distribution networks that span every continent. Welcome to AgriCraft, where we take you inside the most fascinating agricultural processes shaping our modern food system. I'm your host, and today we're beginning an incredible three-part journey through industrial food processing that will change how you think about the products on your plate. From the coffee beans that fuel your morning routine to the complex processing systems that create the foods we consume daily, all will be revealed in this video. Coffee didn't always dominate global agriculture the way it does today. The story begins in the ancient highlands of Ethiopia, where legend tells us that a goat herder named Kaldi first discovered coffee's energizing effects around the 9th century. His goats had been eating bright red berries from certain trees and became unusually energetic and alert. Curious, Kaldi tried the berries himself and experienced the same invigorating effects. From Ethiopia, coffee cultivation spread across the Red Sea to Yemen, where Sufi monks used the beverage to stay alert during long prayer sessions. By the 15th century, coffee had reached the Ottoman Empire, and European merchants began importing this exotic new drink through Venetian trade routes. The Dutch established the first European coffee plantations in Java and Ceylon, while the French introduced coffee to the Caribbean islands. But it was the Americas that would ultimately transform coffee from a regional curiosity into a global commodity. Portuguese colonists brought coffee to Brazil in the early 1700s, and within 2 centuries, Brazil had become the world's dominant coffee producer. Today, over 25 million families worldwide depend on coffee farming for their livelihood, making it one of the most important cash crops on the planet. What makes coffee so economically significant is its unique growing requirements and the incredible complexity of its processing. Unlike wheat or corn that can grow in temperate climates, coffee thrives only in a narrow band around the equator known as the coffee belt. This region, stretching between 25 degrees north and 30 degrees south latitude, includes parts of Central and South America, Africa, and Southeast Asia. The economics are staggering. The global coffee industry generates over $100 billion annually, making it the second most traded commodity after oil. The United States alone imports over $27 billion worth of coffee each year, while Germany and Italy together account for another $15 billion in annual imports. These numbers represent not just consumer demand, but an entire ecosystem of farmers, processors, exporters, roasters, and retailers working in perfect coordination. Coffee production begins with understanding the 2 primary species that dominate commercial cultivation. Coffea arabica accounts for roughly 60% of global production and is prized for its superior flavor profile and lower caffeine content. Arabica plants are more delicate and require higher altitudes, cooler temperatures, and more rainfall than their hardy cousin, Coffea robusta. Robusta coffee makes up most of the remaining 40% of global production and thrives in lower altitudes with higher temperatures. While Robusta beans contain nearly twice the caffeine of Arabica and have a more bitter, earthy flavor, they're essential for espresso blends and instant coffee production. The choice between Arabica and Robusta isn't just about taste preferences but involves careful consideration of climate conditions, soil composition, and market demands. Modern coffee farms employ sophisticated breeding techniques to develop varieties that combine the best characteristics of both species. Agricultural researchers have created hybrid cultivars that offer Arabica's flavor complexity with Robusta's disease resistance and higher yields. These breeding programs often take decades to complete, with scientists carefully selecting parent plants, cross-pollinating them, and testing offspring across multiple growing seasons. Seed selection represents the foundation of successful coffee cultivation. Premium coffee farms maintain their own nurseries where they germinate seeds from their best-performing plants. The process begins with harvesting fully ripe coffee cherries from mature trees that have demonstrated superior cup quality, disease resistance, and consistent yields. These cherries are processed immediately to extract the seeds, which are then planted in carefully controlled nursery conditions. The nursery stage typically lasts 6 to 8 months, during which young coffee plants develop their initial root systems and first sets of true leaves. Farmers monitor soil moisture, provide shade protection, and gradually acclimate seedlings to outdoor conditions before transplanting them to permanent growing locations. This careful attention during the nursery phase determines the long-term productivity and health of the entire coffee plantation. Coffee plants have very specific environmental requirements that limit where they can be successfully cultivated. Temperature is critical, with most varieties requiring average temperatures between 60 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. Extreme temperature fluctuations can damage flowers and reduce fruit set, while temperatures below freezing can kill mature plants. Rainfall patterns are equally important, with coffee plants needing between 60 and 70 inches of precipitation annually. However, this rainfall must be distributed properly throughout the year, with a distinct dry season to allow for proper cherry ripening and harvest. Many successful coffee regions experience wet seasons from May through October, followed by drier months that coincide with harvest time. Altitude plays a crucial role in coffee quality, with higher elevations generally producing beans with more complex flavor profiles. The cooler temperatures at higher altitudes slow cherry development, allowing more time for sugars and organic acids to develop within the beans. Premium specialty coffees are often grown above 4,000 feet elevation, where the combination of cool temperatures, intense sunlight, and volcanic soils creates ideal growing conditions. Soil composition significantly impacts both yield and cup quality. Coffee plants prefer well-draining volcanic soils with pH levels between 6 and 6.5. These soils provide essential minerals like potassium, phosphorus, and nitrogen, while allowing excess water to drain away from sensitive root systems. Many of the world's best coffee regions, including parts of Guatemala, Costa Rica, and Hawaii, feature volcanic soils that contribute to their reputation for exceptional quality. Young coffee plants require intensive care during their first 3 years of growth. Farmers typically provide shade protection using taller trees like bananas, macadamias, or native forest species. This shade serves multiple purposes, protecting young plants from intense tropical sun while creating a more diverse ecosystem that supports beneficial insects and birds. Nutrition management involves carefully timed applications of organic compost, coffee pulp, and mineral supplements. Many sustainable coffee farms create their own compost for processing waste, creating a closed-loop system that reduces external inputs while improving soil health. Regular soil testing helps farmers adjust their fertilization programs based on actual nutrient needs rather than generic recommendations. Pruning represents one of the most skilled aspects of coffee cultivation. Farmers selectively remove branches to maintain optimal plant structure, improve air circulation, and maximize fruit production. Different pruning systems work better for different varieties and growing conditions, with some farmers preferring single stem systems while others maintain multiple productive branches. As coffee plants mature, they develop into small trees or large shrubs that can produce fruit for decades with proper care. The flowering stage is particularly critical, as coffee plants produce small, fragrant white flowers that must be pollinated to develop into coffee cherries. Most coffee varieties are self-pollinating, though cross-pollination can occur and sometimes produces interesting genetic variations. The transition from flower to mature cherry takes approximately 9 months, during which farmers monitor plant health, manage pest pressure, and prepare for harvest. This long development period means that weather conditions throughout the year affect final cup quality, making coffee one of the most climate-sensitive agricultural crops. Coffee harvest timing requires extraordinary precision because cherries ripen unevenly across individual plants and throughout the plantation. Optimal harvest occurs when cherries reach peak ripeness, indicated by their deep red color and slight softness when gently squeezed. Harvesting too early results in underdeveloped flavors, while waiting too long allows overripe cherries to ferment on the tree. In regions with distinct seasons, harvest typically occurs once per year during the dry season. However, some equatorial regions experience 2 harvest seasons annually, with main crops harvested during primary dry seasons and smaller fly crops collected during secondary dry periods. These multiple harvests require careful planning and additional labor resources but can significantly increase total farm productivity. The choice between manual and mechanical harvesting depends on terrain, farm size, and quality objectives. Manual harvesting, known as selective picking, allows workers to harvest only fully ripe cherries while leaving green ones to ripen further. Skilled pickers can harvest between 100 and 200 pounds of cherries per day, carefully selecting only the best fruit. Mechanical harvesting uses specialized machines that shake entire trees or individual branches to dislodge ripe cherries. While much faster than manual methods, mechanical harvesting collects cherries at various ripeness levels, requiring additional sorting and processing steps. Strip picking, whether done by hand or machine, harvests all cherries regardless of ripeness, and typically produces lower quality results. Transportation from farm to processing plant must happen quickly to preserve cherry quality. Coffee cherries begin fermenting within hours of harvest due to their high sugar content and moisture levels. Many farms use specially designed trucks with ventilated containers that prevent crushing while allowing air circulation. Some remote farms employ mules or all-terrain vehicles to transport cherries from steep mountainside plots to collection points. Processing plants, often called beneficios in Spanish-speaking countries, represent the technological heart of coffee production. These facilities combine traditional knowledge with modern machinery to transform freshly harvested cherries into stable, exportable green coffee beans. The processing method chosen dramatically affects final cup characteristics, making this stage crucial for quality development. Most processing plants feature multiple processing lines to handle different coffee lots separately, preventing mixing of various qualities or varieties. Computerized systems monitor moisture levels, temperatures, and processing times to ensure consistency across batches. Quality control laboratories test samples throughout processing to verify that standards are being maintained. The first step in any processing plant involves removing leaves, twigs, and other debris from freshly delivered cherries. Pneumatic systems blow away lighter materials, while gravity tables separate heavier stones and metal objects. Some facilities use color sorting machines that identify and remove defective cherries based on visual characteristics. Water plays a crucial role in most processing methods, requiring access to large quantities of clean water and systems for treating wastewater. Environmental regulations increasingly require processing plants to recycle water and properly treat effluent before discharge. Many modern facilities capture and treat their wastewater, using it for irrigation or returning it to local watersheds after proper treatment. Processing plants employ two primary methods for removing fruit flesh from coffee beans. The wet process, also called wash processing, uses fermentation and washing to remove all fruit material. The dry process, known as natural processing, allows cherries to dry with fruit intact before mechanical removal. Wet processing begins with pulping machines that squeeze cherries to separate beans from outer fruit skin. The pulped beans, still covered with a sticky layer called mucilage, move to fermentation tanks where naturally occurring enzymes break down remaining fruit sugars and proteins. This fermentation stage typically lasts 12 to 48 hours, depending on temperature and altitude. After fermentation, washing channels use flowing water to remove loosened mucilage from coffee beans. Workers agitate the beans while clean water carries away dissolved fruit materials. Some facilities use mechanical mucilage removers that scrub beans clean without fermentation, reducing water usage and processing time. Dry processing involves spreading whole cherries on large patios or raised beds where they dry under natural sunlight. Workers regularly rake and turn the cherries to ensure even drying and prevent mold development. This process typically takes 2 to 4 weeks, depending on weather conditions and cherry moisture content. Modern processing plants often feature concrete patios equipped with movable covers that protect drying coffee from unexpected rain. Some facilities use mechanical dryers that provide controlled temperature and airflow, reducing drying time and weather dependence. However, many coffee experts believe that slow, natural drying produces superior flavor development. Throughout the drying process, workers monitor moisture levels using electronic meters that provide instant readings. Target moisture content for stable storage is typically 11 to 12%, with higher levels risking mold development and lower levels causing beans to become brittle and prone to breakage. Quality control procedures involve multiple checkpoints throughout processing. Visual inspection identifies defective beans, broken pieces, and foreign materials. Cupping, the professional coffee tasting process, evaluates flavor characteristics and identifies any processing problems that might affect cup quality. Many processing plants employ trained quality control specialists who cup test samples from each lot to verify that processing parameters are producing desired results. These specialists can identify subtle flavor defects that indicate problems with fermentation timing, drying conditions, or storage procedures. Automated systems increasingly handle repetitive quality control tasks. Electronic sorters use cameras and sensors to identify and remove defective beans based on size, color, and density characteristics. While expensive, these machines can process thousands of pounds per hour with consistent accuracy that exceeds manual sorting capabilities. After processing and drying, coffee beans undergo hulling to remove remaining parchment or dried fruit layers. Hulling machines use friction and airflow to separate protective coverings from green coffee beans. Proper hulling removes all parchment without damaging delicate bean surfaces that affect roasting characteristics. Grading and sorting represent the final processing steps before packaging. Density tables separate beans based on weight, with denser beans typically indicating better cup quality. Screen sorting separates beans by size, creating uniform lots that roast evenly. Color sorting removes discolored or damaged beans that would negatively impact final cup quality. Green coffee beans destined for export undergo additional processing steps to meet international standards. Sample roasting and cupping verify cup quality before shipment. Moisture testing ensures beans meet specifications for long-term storage and transport. Some facilities provide detailed chemical analysis including caffeine content, acidity levels, and flavor compound profiles. The packaging phase requires specialized equipment designed to maintain green coffee quality during extended storage and transportation. 60-kilogram juta bags remain the international standard for coffee export, though some specialty lots use smaller bags or alternative packaging materials that better preserve bean characteristics. Modern packaging facilities use automated bag filling systems that weigh precise quantities while minimizing handling damage. Each bag receives tags identifying origin, processing method, grade, and harvest date. Barcoding systems track individual bags throughout the supply chain, enabling traceability from farm to final consumer. Before sealing, many facilities flush packaging with nitrogen or carbon dioxide to displace oxygen that could cause quality deterioration during storage. Some premium coffees receive vacuum packaging that removes virtually all air, extending shelf life and preserving delicate flavor compounds. Quality control extends to packaging materials themselves, with many facilities testing bags for tears, contamination, or odors that could affect coffee quality. Storage areas maintain controlled temperature and humidity levels while protecting bags from direct sunlight, moisture, and pest contamination. Automated labeling systems apply required information including country of origin, certification marks, and processing details. Export documentation must comply with importing country requirements, often including phytosanitary certificates, quality attestations, and fair trade or organic certifications. Distribution networks for green coffee beans involve multiple transportation modes and intermediaries. Most coffee travels by ship in standardized containers that protect cargo from salt water, temperature extremes, and contamination. Container loading requires careful attention to ventilation and moisture control to prevent condensation that could damage beans. Many coffee-producing countries maintain government agencies that oversee export quality and marketing. These organizations often provide final quality verification, issue certificates of origin, and sometimes coordinate shipping logistics for smaller farmers who cannot manage export operations independently. International coffee trade involves sophisticated financing arrangements that help manage price volatility and seasonal cash flow challenges. Many transactions use letters of credit that guarantee payment upon delivery of conforming goods. Futures contracts allow buyers and sellers to lock in prices months before actual delivery, providing stability for long-term business planning. Cold storage facilities in importing countries receive and inventory green coffee beans before distribution to roasters. These warehouses maintain precise temperature and humidity control while providing pest management and quality monitoring services. Some facilities offer additional services like sample roasting, cupping, and custom packaging for specific customer requirements. The journey from coffee cherry to green bean involves remarkable coordination between farmers, processors, exporters, and distributors across multiple continents. Computer systems track individual lots throughout this process, enabling roasters to source specific qualities while maintaining traceability back to original farms. Coffee processing generates substantial quantities of byproducts that innovative facilities convert into valuable secondary products. Coffee pulp and cherry skins contain high levels of potassium and organic matter that make excellent fertilizer when properly composted. Many processing plants maintain composting operations that convert their waste streams into valuable soil amendments. Mucilage removed during wet processing contains sugars and proteins that can be processed into animal feed supplements. Some facilities dry this material and sell it to local livestock operations as a high-energy feed ingredient. Research continues into converting coffee processing waste into biofuels, though commercial applications remain limited. Coffee cherry cascara, the dried fruit skin removed during processing, has gained popularity as a beverage ingredient with its own unique flavor profile. This byproduct contains caffeine and antioxidants while offering fruity, tea-like characteristics that appeal to specialty beverage markets. Processing facilities increasingly focus on water conservation and wastewater treatment as environmental regulations become more stringent. Closed-loop water systems recycle processed water multiple times before treatment and discharge. Some plants construct wetlands that naturally treat wastewater while creating wildlife habitat and additional income streams through ecotourism. Coffee cultivation and processing provide income for over 25 million farming families worldwide, making it one of the most socially important agricultural sectors. Fair trade and direct trade programs aim to ensure that farmers receive fair compensation for their products while promoting sustainable farming practices and community development. Many processing facilities operate cooperative structures owned by member farmers, allowing producers to capture additional value from processing and marketing activities. These cooperatives often provide technical assistance, credit services, and quality improvement programs that help farmers increase their productivity and income. The specialty coffee movement has created market opportunities for farmers willing to invest in quality improvement and sustainable practices. Premium prices for exceptional coffees can provide economic incentives for environmental stewardship, worker welfare improvements, and community development projects. Nutritionally, coffee beans contain hundreds of chemical compounds that contribute to both flavor and potential health effects. Caffeine represents the most well-known component, with Arabica beans containing approximately 1% caffeine by weight, while Robusta beans contain nearly 2%. These levels can vary significantly based on growing conditions, processing methods, and storage factors. Antioxidants in coffee beans include chlorogenic acids, quinoids, and other phenolic compounds that may provide health benefits when consumed. However, many of these compounds change during roasting, with some increasing while others decrease depending on roasting temperature and duration. Coffee beans also contain lipids, proteins, and carbohydrates that contribute to body and mouthfeel in brewed coffee. The specific composition varies between varieties and growing conditions, with higher altitude coffees often containing more complex flavor compounds and higher concentrations of desirable organic acids. Environmental considerations increasingly influence coffee production and processing decisions. Climate change poses significant challenges for coffee cultivation, with rising temperatures forcing cultivation to higher altitudes, and changing precipitation patterns affecting harvest timing and quality. Shade-grown coffee systems provide habitat for migratory birds and other wildlife while helping maintain biodiversity in tropical regions. These systems often produce lower yields than full sun cultivation but can provide premium prices that offset reduced productivity, while delivering environmental benefits. Water usage in coffee processing has become a major sustainability concern, with wet processing methods requiring substantial quantities of clean water. New processing techniques aim to reduce water consumption while maintaining or improving cup quality. Some facilities have achieved 90% reductions in water usage through equipment improvements and process modifications. Carbon footprint considerations include transportation distances, processing energy requirements, and farming practices. Some coffee operations pursue carbon neutrality through renewable energy adoption, reforestation projects, and improved efficiency measures throughout their operations. Soil health represents a critical sustainability factor, with intensive coffee cultivation potentially leading to erosion and nutrient depletion. Sustainable farming practices include cover cropping, organic matter additions, and integrated pest management systems that maintain productivity while protecting long-term soil health. The story of coffee processing reveals the incredible complexity behind one of our most beloved beverages. From careful seed selection and precision farming techniques to sophisticated processing equipment and global distribution networks, every cup of coffee represents the coordinated efforts of thousands of people working across multiple continents. But coffee represents just one example of how modern agriculture transforms raw materials into the products we consume daily. The same principles of precision farming, industrial processing, and global distribution apply to countless other agricultural products that fill our grocery stores and restaurants. As we've seen today, the journey from coffee cherry to your morning cup involves remarkable technical sophistication and global coordination. But this is only the beginning of our exploration into modern food processing. Next, we'll examine how another seemingly simple agricultural product undergoes its own complex transformation through industrial processing systems. That seemingly simple agricultural product is the humble peanut, and its transformation into cooking oil represents one of the most efficient industrial processes in modern agriculture. While coffee beans travel thousands of miles in their journey from farm to cup, peanuts undergo an equally remarkable transformation right here in American processing facilities that can extract oil from over 1 million pounds of peanuts every single day. The numbers behind peanut oil production are staggering. The United States processes approximately 6 billion pounds of peanuts annually, with roughly half destined for oil extraction. A single modern processing plant can transform 24 million pounds of raw peanuts into 4 million gallons of cooking oil each year, while simultaneously producing protein-rich meal that feeds livestock across the country. What makes peanut processing so fascinating is how these facilities achieve nearly zero waste through integrated systems that utilize every component of the original nut. Where coffee processing creates valuable byproducts, peanut facilities operate as complete agricultural refineries that transform a single crop into cooking oil, animal feed, biodiesel, and dozens of industrial products. The peanut's journey to becoming a major oil crop began in South America, where indigenous peoples cultivated these underground legumes over 3,000 years ago. Spanish and Portuguese explorers brought peanuts to Europe and Africa, while enslaved Africans later introduced them to North American colonies. However, peanuts remained primarily animal feed until the late 1800s. Dr. George Washington Carver revolutionized peanut agriculture in the early 1900s by developing over 300 uses for peanuts, including oils, flours, and industrial products. His work encouraged Southern farmers to diversify from cotton monoculture into peanut production, creating the foundation for today's industry. Commercial peanut oil production began in earnest during World War II, when traditional cooking oil sources became scarce. Military demand for high-quality frying oil led to rapid expansion of peanut processing facilities across the Southeast. Today, peanut oil commands premium prices due to its exceptional stability, neutral flavor, and high smoke point that makes it ideal for professional kitchens. The global peanut oil market generates over $8 billion annually, with the United States ranking among the top 5 producers alongside China, India, Argentina, and Sudan. American peanut oil is particularly prized for its quality and consistency, commanding premium prices in international markets where food safety standards are paramount. Unlike many other oilseed crops, peanuts require specific growing conditions that limit production to particular geographic regions. In the United States, commercial peanut production concentrates in Georgia, Alabama, Florida, North Carolina, and Texas, where sandy soils and long growing seasons provide ideal conditions. The economic impact extends far beyond oil production. Peanut farming supports over 50,000 jobs across rural communities, while processing facilities employ thousands of additional workers in skilled manufacturing positions. Many peanut processing towns depend almost entirely on these facilities for their economic stability, making efficient operations crucial for entire communities. Modern peanut oil extraction achieves remarkable efficiency rates, typically recovering 95% of available oil while maintaining strict quality standards. This efficiency results from decades of engineering improvements that optimize every stage of processing, from initial cleaning through final packaging. Peanut cultivation begins with variety selection based on intended end use and local growing conditions. Oil extraction facilities typically contract for high oil varieties that contain between 48 and 54% oil by weight. These varieties differ significantly from peanuts grown for direct consumption, with breeders selecting for oil content rather than flavor or appearance. Runner peanuts dominate oil production due to their uniform size, high oil content, and excellent processing characteristics. These varieties produce consistent kernel sizes that flow smoothly through processing equipment while delivering predictable oil yields. Virginia and Spanish peanut varieties are occasionally used for specialty oil products but account for smaller volumes. Plant breeding programs continuously develop new varieties with improved oil content, disease resistance, and processing efficiency. Modern varieties result from decades of selective breeding that combines traditional techniques with genetic markers that identify desirable traits. Some experimental varieties contain over 58% oil, though these often sacrifice other important characteristics. Seed selection for oil production involves rigorous testing to ensure genetic purity and optimal characteristics. Certified seed programs maintain strict standards for variety authenticity, germination rates, and disease freedom. Many oil processing companies contract directly with seed producers to ensure consistent supply of preferred varieties. Peanuts thrive in well-drained sandy soils with pH levels between 5.8 and 6.2. These soils allow proper pod development while facilitating harvest operations that lift entire plants from the ground. Heavy clay soils can impede pod formation and complicate harvesting, reducing both yield and quality. Temperature requirements are specific, with peanuts needing warm soil temperatures above 65 degrees Fahrenheit for germination and average growing season temperatures between 70 and 80 degrees. The growing season must provide at least 120 frost-free days, limiting commercial production to southern regions. Rainfall patterns significantly impact oil content and overall quality. Peanuts require approximately 24 inches of water during the growing season, with critical needs during flowering and pod-filling stages. However, excessive moisture during harvest can reduce oil quality and increase aflatoxin risk, requiring careful timing of irrigation and harvest operations. Modern peanut farms employ precision agriculture techniques that optimize planting density, fertilization, and pest management for maximum oil yield. GPS-guided equipment ensures uniform plant spacing while variable rate application systems adjust inputs based on soil conditions and yield potential maps developed from previous seasons. Peanut plants have unique growth characteristics that influence cultivation practices. Unlike true nuts that grow on trees, peanuts develop underground from flowers that burrow into soil after pollination. This process, called pegging, requires loose soil conditions and specific moisture levels to achieve optimal pod development. Farmers typically plant peanuts in rows spaced 30 to 36 inches apart, using precision planters that place seeds at predetermined depths and spacing. Planting depth is critical, with seeds placed approximately 2 inches deep in warm, moist soil. Planting too shallow risks poor germination, while excessive depth can delay emergence and reduce stand establishment. Fertility management for oil production emphasizes phosphorus and potassium while limiting nitrogen applications that can reduce oil content. Soil testing guides fertilizer applications, with many farms applying phosphorus and potassium before planting and side dressing with additional nutrients during the growing season based on plant tissue tests. Calcium plays a crucial role in peanut development, with adequate levels essential for proper shell formation and kernel development. Many farms apply gypsum, a calcium sulfate source, during flowering to ensure adequate calcium availability in the pod zone where nuts develop. Pest management in peanut production involves integrated approaches that combine biological, cultural, and chemical controls. Thrips, aphids, and spider mites can significantly impact yields, while soil-borne diseases like white mold and black rot require preventive fungicide applications during critical growth stages. Weed control utilizes both mechanical cultivation and herbicide applications timed to avoid crop injury while maintaining competitive advantages over weeds. Clean cultivation is particularly important during early growth stages when peanut plants are most vulnerable to competition. As peanut plants mature, farmers monitor pod development and oil content to determine optimal harvest timing. Peanuts destined for oil extraction are typically harvested at slightly higher moisture levels than those intended for direct consumption, allowing for more efficient processing while maintaining oil quality. Harvest operations begin with digging, where specialized equipment lifts entire plants from soil and inverts them to allow pods to dry naturally in field conditions. This field drying typically lasts 3 to 7 days, depending on weather conditions and initial moisture levels. Mechanical harvesting follows field drying, with combines that separate peanuts from vines while removing excess soil and plant material. Modern harvesters use adjustable settings that minimize kernel damage while achieving clean separation. Damaged kernels can reduce oil quality and complicate processing, making gentle handling essential throughout harvest operations. Transportation from fields to storage facilities requires specialized trailers with perforated floors that allow airflow to prevent moisture buildup and mold development. Many processing facilities specify maximum delivery moisture levels and provide immediate testing to ensure compliance with quality standards. Storage systems at processing plants maintain peanut quality while providing adequate inventory for continuous operations. Warehouse facilities use forced air drying systems that reduce moisture content to save storage levels below 10%. Temperature monitoring prevents hotspots that could indicate insect activity or spoilage. Quality testing upon receipt includes moisture content, oil content, foreign material levels, and aflatoxin screening. Loads that fail to meet specifications may be rejected or accepted at reduced prices, providing strong incentives for proper field and harvest management. Many processing facilities maintain separate storage areas for different peanut varieties and quality grades. This segregation allows processors to blend different lots to achieve consistent oil characteristics while maximizing the value of premium quality peanuts. Modern peanut oil extraction facilities represent sophisticated chemical engineering operations that combine mechanical and solvent extraction methods to achieve maximum efficiency. These processing plants operate continuously, processing millions of pounds of peanuts annually while maintaining strict quality and safety standards. The extraction process begins with comprehensive cleaning systems that remove foreign materials including rocks, metal objects, plant debris, and damaged kernels. Pneumatic systems use controlled airflow to separate materials based on density differences, while magnetic separators remove metallic contaminants. Screening equipment separates peanuts by size, ensuring uniform processing conditions throughout subsequent operations. Properly sized peanuts flow consistently through equipment while reducing mechanical damage that could affect oil quality. Color sorting machines use advanced optical systems to identify and remove discolored or damaged peanuts that could negatively impact final oil characteristics. These systems can process thousands of pounds per hour while achieving sorting accuracy that exceeds human capabilities. After cleaning and sorting, peanuts undergo conditioning treatments that optimize moisture content and temperature for efficient oil extraction. Steam conditioning systems heat peanuts to approximately 160 degrees Fahrenheit, while adjusting moisture content to facilitate subsequent processing steps. The mechanical extraction phase employs continuous screw presses that apply tremendous pressure to crush conditioned peanuts and express oil from kernel tissues. These expeller presses operate at carefully controlled temperatures and pressures that maximize oil recovery while preventing degradation of heat-sensitive compounds. Modern expeller systems achieve oil recovery rates approaching 85% of total oil content through mechanical pressing alone. The remaining oil-rich meal contains approximately 8 to 12% residual oil that requires solvent extraction for complete recovery. Temperature control during mechanical extraction is critical for oil quality. Excessive temperatures can create off flavors and reduce oil stability, while insufficient heat reduces extraction efficiency. Most facilities maintain press temperatures between 180 and 200 degrees Fahrenheit for optimal results. The crude oil emerging from mechanical presses contains various impurities including phospholipids, free fatty acids, proteins, and moisture that must be removed through refining processes. Initial settling tanks allow heavy particles to separate by gravity, while filtration systems remove suspended solids. Solvent extraction recovers residual oil from mechanically pressed meal using food-grade hexane that dissolves remaining oil while leaving protein and carbohydrate components intact. This process involves counter-current extraction systems where hexane flows opposite to meal movement, maximizing contact time and extraction efficiency. The hexane oil mixture, called Misk-Ella, undergoes distillation to separate and recover hexane for reuse, while concentrating crude oil. Modern facilities achieve hexane recovery rates exceeding 99%, making solvent extraction both economically and environmentally sustainable. Dissolventizing systems remove residual hexane from extracted meal using steam and heat treatment. This process must achieve complete hexane removal while avoiding excessive temperatures that could damage protein quality in the resulting meal product. Quality control throughout extraction involves continuous monitoring of oil content in processed meal, hexane recovery efficiency, and crude oil characteristics. Laboratory testing verifies that processing parameters are producing desired results while identifying any problems that require immediate attention. Modern extraction facilities employ automated control systems that monitor and adjust processing parameters in real time. These systems track temperatures, pressures, flow rates, and quality indicators while making automatic adjustments to maintain optimal operating conditions. The crude peanut oil from extraction requires comprehensive refining to produce the clear, stable cooking oil consumers expect. Refining removes impurities that could cause off flavors, reduce shelf life, or create undesirable cooking characteristics. Degumming represents the first refining step, using water or acid treatments to remove phospholipids and other gums that could cause cloudiness or rancidity. Centrifugal separators remove these hydrated gums while recovering clean oil for further processing. Neutralization follows degumming, using caustic soda solutions to neutralize free fatty acids that contribute to rancidity and off flavors. This process converts free fatty acids to soap stocks that separate easily from neutral oil through centrifugal processing. Bleaching removes color compounds and trace metals using activated clay that absorbs these impurities from heated oil. The bleaching process typically occurs under vacuum conditions that prevent oxidation while achieving maximum color removal efficiency. Filtration systems remove spent bleaching clay while recovering clean oil with minimal losses. Modern filters achieve extremely low clay residue levels while maintaining high throughput rates essential for efficient operations. Deodorization represents the final major refining step, using high-temperature steam distillation under vacuum conditions to remove volatile compounds that cause objectionable flavors and odors. This process typically operates at temperatures above 400 degrees Fahrenheit under high vacuum. The deodorization process also removes pesticide residues, creating oil that meets strict food safety standards for domestic and export markets. Precise temperature and time controls ensure complete removal of undesirable compounds while preserving beneficial characteristics. Modern refining facilities achieve oil recovery rates exceeding 97% while producing oil that meets or exceeds industry standards for color, flavor, and stability. Automated systems monitor critical control points throughout refining, while providing documentation required for food safety certifications. Quality testing of refined oil includes assessments of color, flavor, free fatty acid content, peroxide value, and smoke point. These tests verify that refining has achieved desired quality levels while identifying any problems that require process adjustments. Some facilities produce specialty peanut oils that undergo modified refining processes to preserve natural flavors and characteristics. These products command premium prices but require different processing parameters and quality specifications. Packaging operations for peanut oil utilize automated systems that fill containers with precise volumes while preventing contamination and oxidation. Most commercial peanut oil is packaged in food-grade plastic containers ranging from gallon jugs for food service customers to 55-gallon drums for industrial users. Nitrogen flushing systems displace oxygen from container heads pace, extending shelf life by preventing oxidative rancidity. This process is particularly important for larger containers that may have extended storage periods before use. Labeling systems apply required product information including nutritional facts, ingredient statements, and processing certifications. Many products carry additional certifications like non-GMO verification or kosher approval that require specific documentation and processing controls. Quality control in packaging includes container integrity testing, fill weight verification, and seal quality assessment. Automated systems reject containers that fail to meet specifications while providing statistical process control data for continuous improvement. Cold storage facilities maintain packaged oil at controlled temperatures that minimize quality degradation during distribution. Temperature monitoring systems provide continuous documentation of storage conditions while alerting operators to any deviations that could affect product quality. Distribution networks for peanut oil serve diverse markets including restaurants, food manufacturers, and retail consumers. Food service distributors typically purchase oil in bulk containers, while retail markets require smaller consumer-sized packages with attractive labeling and extended shelf life. Transportation logistics coordinate shipments to minimize handling while maintaining temperature control throughout distribution chains. Many facilities use dedicated truck fleets that specialize in edible oil transportation with proper equipment and handling procedures. Export markets for American peanut oil include countries with high food safety standards that value consistent quality and reliable supply. Documentation requirements for export include certificates of analysis, processing certifications, and sometimes country-specific attestations. The meal remaining after oil extraction represents a valuable byproduct with multiple commercial applications. Peanut meal contains approximately 50% protein along with fiber, minerals, and vitamins that make it an excellent livestock feed ingredient. Feed manufacturers incorporate peanut meal into rations for dairy cattle, poultry, and swine where its high protein content and excellent amino acid profile support animal growth and production. The meal's palatability makes it particularly valuable for young animals and high-producing livestock. Some peanut meal undergoes additional processing to produce higher value products including protein concentrates and isolates used in human food applications. These specialty products require additional investment in processing equipment but can generate significantly higher returns than commodity feed applications. Industrial applications for peanut meal include biodegradable plastics, adhesives, and specialty chemicals that utilize the protein and fiber components. Research continues into new applications that could further increase the value of this processing byproduct. Hulls removed during processing provide additional revenue streams through sales to landscape suppliers for mulch applications or to power generation facilities as biomass fuel. Some processing plants use hulls in their own boiler systems to generate steam and electricity. Environmental considerations in peanut oil processing include water usage, energy consumption, and waste management. Modern facilities employ water recycling systems that minimize freshwater requirements while treating wastewater to environmental standards before discharge. Energy efficiency improvements include heat recovery systems that capture waste heat from processing operations for use in other plant areas. Combined heat and power systems use natural gas or biomass to generate both electricity and steam, improving overall energy efficiency. Waste minimization programs identify opportunities to reduce, reuse, or recycle materials throughout processing operations. Many facilities achieve near zero waste status by finding beneficial uses for all processing byproducts. Air emission controls prevent release of hexane vapors and other volatile compounds while maintaining workplace safety standards. Vapor recovery systems capture and recycle solvents while reducing environmental impact. The nutritional profile of peanut oil makes it valuable for various culinary applications. Its high content of monounsaturated fats, particularly oleic acid, provides heart-healthy characteristics while its stability under high temperatures makes it ideal for frying applications. Peanut oil's high smoke point of approximately 450 degrees Fahrenheit allows for high-temperature cooking, without breakdown that creates off flavors or harmful compounds. This characteristic makes it particularly popular in professional kitchens and commercial food production. The neutral flavor profile of refined peanut oil allows food flavors to predominate without interference from oil characteristics. This makes it suitable for delicate preparations where oil flavor would be undesirable. Shelf stability of properly processed and packaged peanut oil exceeds that of many other cooking oils, making it valuable for emergency food supplies and long-term storage applications. Proper storage can maintain quality for over 2 years under appropriate conditions. Some specialty peanut oils retain natural flavors and nutrients through minimal processing techniques. These products appeal to consumers seeking more natural options, though they typically have shorter shelf lives and higher prices than fully refined oils. Sustainability initiatives in peanut production and processing focus on soil health, water conservation, and energy efficiency. Many farms employ cover cropping and reduced tillage systems that protect soil while maintaining productivity. Integrated pest management reduces pesticide usage while maintaining effective crop protection. Beneficial insect habitat and biological control agents help manage pest populations through natural systems. Water conservation in processing facilities includes closed-loop systems that recycle processed water multiple times before treatment and discharge. Some facilities have reduced water usage by over 60% through efficiency improvements and recycling programs. Renewable energy adoption includes solar installations and biomass heating systems that reduce dependence on fossil fuels. Some processing facilities generate more renewable energy than they consume, becoming net energy exporters to local power grids. Carbon footprint reduction efforts include transportation efficiency improvements, packaging optimization, and supply chain coordination that minimizes environmental impact while maintaining economic competitiveness. The transformation of peanuts into oil demonstrates the remarkable efficiency achievable through modern agricultural processing. From precision farming techniques that maximize oil content to sophisticated extraction and refining systems that recover every possible drop, peanut oil production exemplifies how technology can optimize natural resources. Yet even this impressive efficiency pales in comparison to what we'll explore next. Where peanut processing handles millions of pounds annually, our final destination processes billions of pounds of raw materials through automated systems that operate on a scale almost impossible to comprehend. Join us as we venture into facilities where countless tons of fresh produce move through processing lines every single day, transformed into products that stock grocery store shelves across the globe. The precision, scale, and coordination required for this operation will challenge everything you thought you knew about modern food production. That operation processing countless tons of fresh produce is the industrial tomato industry, where single processing plants transform over 1 billion pounds of fresh tomatoes annually into the paste, sauce, and ketchup that stock grocery shelves worldwide. To put this staggering scale in perspective, one modern tomato processing facility handles more raw material in a single season than most entire agricultural sectors process in multiple years. The numbers behind industrial tomato processing dwarf everything we've explored so far. California alone produces over 12 billion pounds of processing tomatoes each year, with individual facilities capable of processing 4 million pounds of fresh fruit in a single 24-hour period. These operations run continuously during harvest season, transforming raw tomatoes into finished products at rates exceeding 250 tons per hour. What makes tomato processing truly remarkable is the complete automation achieved throughout the entire supply chain. Where coffee requires careful hand selection and peanut oil involves complex chemical processes, tomato processing facilities operate with minimal human intervention from field harvest through final packaging. Robotic systems, computer-controlled sorting equipment, and automated production lines coordinate seamlessly to handle volumes that would be impossible through traditional methods. The tomato's journey from wild South American plant to global processing commodity spans over 5 centuries of agricultural development. Spanish conquistadors first encountered tomatoes in Mexico and Peru during the early 1500s, bringing seeds back to Europe where they initially met with suspicion and fear. Europeans believed tomatoes were poisonous due to their relationship to deadly nightshade plants, and wealthy individuals who ate tomatoes from pewter plates sometimes died from lead poisoning caused by the fruit's acidity leaching lead from dishware. This unfortunate association delayed tomato acceptance in Europe for nearly 200 years. Italian cuisine eventually embraced tomatoes during the 1700s, developing the foundation for modern tomato-based dishes. However, large-scale commercial tomato production didn't begin until the late 1800s when mechanical harvesting equipment and canning technology made industrial processing economically viable. The California tomato industry emerged during the early 1900s when Italian immigrants brought processing knowledge to the Central Valley's ideal growing conditions. Railroad transportation allowed California processors to serve national markets, while World War II military demand accelerated industry growth and technological development. Today's global tomato processing industry generates over $40 billion annually, with the United States, China, Italy, and Turkey dominating production. American processing tomatoes supply not only domestic markets but also export to over 60 countries where consistent quality and food safety standards command premium prices. The scale of modern tomato processing requires agricultural production systems designed specifically for industrial use rather than fresh market consumption. Processing tomatoes differ dramatically from fresh market varieties in plant architecture, fruit characteristics, and harvest timing. processing tomato varieties are bred for simultaneous ripening that allows mechanical harvest of entire fields within narrow time windows. These determinate varieties concentrate fruit production into 4 to 6 week periods, enabling efficient coordination between field operations and processing plant schedules. Fruit characteristics emphasize solids content, color intensity, and processing suitability rather than appearance or eating quality. Processing tomatoes typically contain 6 to 8% soluble solids compared to 4 to 5% in fresh market types, reducing the energy required to concentrate products like paste and sauce. Plant architecture in processing varieties features compact growth habits and strong attachment between fruits and stems. These characteristics prevent fruit drop during mechanical harvesting while allowing machines to strip plants efficiently without excessive damage to either fruit or equipment. Disease resistance represents a critical breeding objective since processing tomatoes are grown in large monoculture blocks where disease problems can cause catastrophic losses. Modern varieties incorporate resistance to multiple bacterial, fungal, and viral diseases that historically limited production. Breeding programs continuously develop improved varieties through both traditional selection and modern biotechnology. Marker-assisted selection allows breeders to identify desirable genes without waiting for plants to mature, accelerating variety development from 15 years to less than 10. Some processing tomato varieties result from genetic modification to enhance specific characteristics like extended shelf life or herbicide tolerance. These varieties undergo extensive safety testing and regulatory approval before commercial release, though consumer acceptance varies significantly between markets. Processing tomato production concentrates in regions with Mediterranean climates featuring warm, dry summers and minimal rainfall during harvest periods. California's Central Valley produces over 90% of American processing tomatoes due to its ideal combination of climate, soil and water resources. Soil requirements emphasize good drainage and adequate fertility to support high plant populations and intensive production systems. Most processing tomato fields undergo extensive preparation including deep tillage, organic matter incorporation and precision land leveling that facilitates mechanical operations. Water management represents the most critical production factor, with processing tomatoes requiring approximately 24 inches of water during the growing season. Drip irrigation systems provide precise water control while minimizing disease pressure and maximizing water use efficiency. Modern tomato farms employ sophisticated irrigation scheduling based on soil moisture monitoring, weather data, and plant stress indicators. Computer-controlled systems adjust irrigation timing and duration automatically, while providing detailed records for regulatory compliance and optimization analysis. Fertility programs for processing tomatoes emphasize nitrogen timing to support vegetative growth early in the season, while promoting fruit development and quality during reproductive stages. Excessive nitrogen late in the season can delay maturity and reduce solids content, requiring careful management throughout the growing period. Transplant production for processing tomatoes occurs in specialized greenhouse facilities that produce millions of seedlings annually. These operations use automated seeding equipment, climate-controlled growing environments, and precision scheduling to deliver transplants exactly when field conditions are optimal. Transplanting operations employ specialized equipment that can plant over 10,000 seedlings per hour, while maintaining precise spacing and depth control. GPS guidance systems ensure uniform plant populations while creating straight rows that facilitate all subsequent mechanical operations. Processing tomato fields typically support plant populations between 8,000 and 12,000 plants per acre, much higher than fresh market production. These dense populations maximize yield per acre while ensuring uniform fruit development and harvest timing. Pest management in processing tomatoes relies heavily on integrated approaches that combine biological controls, resistant varieties, and targeted pesticide applications. Regular scouting identifies pest problems early while beneficial insect releases help maintain natural predator populations. Weed control utilizes both mechanical cultivation and herbicide applications timed to avoid crop injury while maintaining competitive advantages. Some processing tomato varieties incorporate herbicide tolerance genes that allow for more flexible weed management options. Disease prevention emphasizes crop rotation, resistant varieties, and cultural practices that reduce disease pressure. Processing tomato fields are typically rotated with other crops for 3 to 4 years to break disease cycles and maintain soil health. As processing tomatoes approach maturity, farmers monitor fruit development and processing plant schedules to coordinate optimal harvest timing. Unlike fresh market tomatoes that are harvested over extended periods, processing varieties must be harvested within narrow windows when fruit reaches peak quality. Harvest timing depends on achieving target soluble solids content, color development, and processing plant capacity. Delayed harvest can result in overripe fruit with reduced processing quality, while early harvest produces lower yields and inferior finished products. Mechanical harvesting represents one of the most impressive agricultural operations in modern farming. Tomato harvesters are massive machines that can cost over $800,000 and process entire fields with minimal human labor. These harvesters operate by cutting tomato plants at ground level and feeding entire plants through complex separation systems. Shaking mechanisms dislodge ripe fruit while blowers remove leaves and other plant debris. Conveyor systems transport fruit through the machine, while workers remove remaining debris and damaged fruit. Modern harvesters can process over 40 tons of tomatoes per hour while achieving fruit recovery rates exceeding 95%. Electronic sorting systems identify and remove green fruit, while optical sensors detect damaged or diseased tomatoes that could affect processing quality. Harvested tomatoes are loaded directly into specialized trucks equipped with hydraulic dump beds that deliver fruit to processing plants within hours of harvest. Speed is critical since tomatoes begin deteriorating immediately after harvest, with quality losses accelerating rapidly under warm conditions. Transportation systems coordinate harvest operations with processing plant schedules to ensure continuous material flow without delays that could affect fruit quality. Radio communication systems allow real-time coordination between harvest crews, truck drivers, and plant operators. Some processing facilities operate their own harvesting equipment and transportation fleets to maintain complete control over harvest timing and fruit quality. These vertically integrated operations can optimize the entire supply chain from field to finished product. Processing plants receive tomatoes through sophisticated intake systems designed to handle massive volumes while maintaining fruit quality and tracking individual loads. Hydraulic dumping systems can unload 40-ton truckloads in less than 5 minutes while preventing fruit damage. Initial quality assessment includes soluble solids testing, color measurement, and visual inspection for defects or contamination. Loads that fail to meet specifications may be rejected or accepted at reduced prices, providing strong incentives for proper field management. Washing systems remove field soil, plant debris, and other contaminants using high-pressure water sprays and flotation tanks. These systems can process over 100 tons per hour while achieving extremely high levels of cleanliness required for food safety. Electronic sorting represents the first major processing step, utilizing advanced optical systems that examine every individual tomato at high speed. These machines can identify and remove defective fruit based on color, size, shape, and surface defects with accuracy exceeding human capabilities. Modern sorting systems process over 60 tons of tomatoes per hour while removing green fruit, damaged tomatoes, and foreign materials. Rejected fruit is typically diverted to animal feed applications or composting operations rather than being wasted. After sorting, tomatoes enter the main processing area where they are transformed into various products including whole peeled tomatoes, diced tomatoes, tomato sauce, tomato paste, and tomato powder. Product selection depends on fruit quality, market demands, and processing plant capabilities. Whole peeled tomato production begins with steam peeling systems that use high-temperature steam to loosen tomato skins for easy removal. Mechanical peeling equipment strips away skins while maintaining fruit integrity and minimizing losses. Hot break systems rapidly heat tomatoes to 185 degrees Fahrenheit or higher to inactivate enzymes that could cause quality deterioration during storage. This process also begins breaking down cell walls that will facilitate subsequent processing steps. Cold break processing maintains lower temperatures during initial heating, preserving more natural tomato flavor and texture characteristics. However, cold break products typically have shorter shelf lives and may require different packaging and storage conditions. Dicing operations use precision cutting equipment that produces uniform tomato pieces for use in soups, sauces, and prepared foods. Blade systems can be adjusted to produce different cut sizes while maintaining consistent piece dimensions throughout production runs. Tomato sauce production involves crushing whole tomatoes and removing seeds and peels through screening systems. The resulting puree undergoes concentration through evaporation to achieve desired consistency and solids content. Tomato paste represents the most concentrated tomato product, typically containing 28 to 32% soluble solids compared to 5 to 6% in fresh tomatoes. Paste production requires sophisticated evaporation systems that remove water while preserving flavor and nutritional value. Multiple effect evaporators achieve energy efficiency by using steam from previous evaporation stages to heat subsequent stages. These systems can concentrate thousands of gallons per hour while minimizing energy consumption and maintaining product quality. Vacuum evaporation allows concentration at lower temperatures that preserve heat-sensitive flavor compounds and vitamins. However, vacuum systems require more complex equipment and higher maintenance costs than atmospheric evaporation systems. Aseptic processing systems heat tomato products to sterilization temperatures for very brief periods before rapid cooling and sterile packaging. This process achieves commercial sterility while preserving fresh tomato flavor and nutritional characteristics, better than conventional canning. Continuous sterilization systems can process over 20,000 gallons per hour while maintaining precise temperature and time controls required for food safety. Automated systems monitor critical control points and provide documentation required for regulatory compliance. Quality control throughout processing involves continuous monitoring of temperature, pH, solids content, and microbiological safety. Laboratory testing verifies that products meet specifications while identifying any deviations that require immediate correction. Modern processing plants employ computerized control systems that monitor hundreds of process variables simultaneously while making automatic adjustments to maintain optimal operating conditions. These systems provide real-time data analysis and historical trending for continuous improvement. Statistical process control techniques identify process variations before they affect product quality. Control charts track key parameters over time while alerting operators to trends that could indicate equipment problems or process drift. Hazard analysis and critical control points programs identify potential food safety risks throughout processing, while establishing monitoring procedures and corrective actions. These systems are mandatory for commercial food processing and require extensive documentation and verification. Packaging operations for tomato products utilize high-speed automated systems that fill containers with precise weights while preventing contamination. Packaging formats range from consumer-sized cans and bottles to bulk containers for food service and industrial customers. Can-filling systems can process over 1,000 containers per minute while maintaining fill weights within narrow tolerances. Automatic systems monitor fill levels and reject containers that don't meet specifications. Sealing operations use precise temperature and pressure controls to create hermetic seals that preserve product quality and safety during extended storage. Seal integrity testing ensures that all containers meet standards before leaving the processing facility. Labeling systems apply product information, nutritional facts, and regulatory requirements at speeds matching production line capacity. Vision systems verify label placement and legibility while rejecting improperly labeled containers. Case packing and palletizing operations use robotic systems that handle finished products with minimal human contact. These systems can pack over 100 cases per minute while maintaining precise package alignment and stack stability. Cold storage facilities maintain finished products at controlled temperatures that preserve quality during distribution. Inventory management systems track individual lots from production through shipment while providing traceability required for food safety programs. Distribution networks for tomato products serve global markets through complex logistics systems that coordinate production scheduling, inventory management, and transportation. Many processing facilities operate their own distribution centers, while others utilize third-party logistics providers. Export markets for American tomato products include countries throughout Asia, Europe, and the Middle East, where consistent quality and food safety standards command premium prices. Documentation requirements include certificates of analysis, processing certifications, and sometimes country-specific attestations. Transportation systems utilize specialized equipment designed for food products, including temperature-controlled trailers and containers that maintain product quality during extended shipping periods. GPS tracking systems provide real-time location data while temperature monitoring ensures cold chain integrity. Processing waste represents a significant byproduct stream that innovative facilities convert into valuable secondary products. Tomato pomace, consisting of skins, seeds, and pulp remaining after juice extraction, contains valuable compounds including lycopene, fiber, and protein. Pomace drying operations produce animal feed ingredients with excellent nutritional characteristics. Dried pomace contains approximately 25% protein along with fiber and minerals that make it valuable for livestock rations. Seed recovery systems separate tomato seeds from pomace for sale to seed companies or oil extraction operations. Tomato seeds contain approximately 20% oil with characteristics suitable for industrial applications. Lycopene extraction from processing waste produces valuable antioxidant compounds used in dietary supplements and functional foods. This red pigment responsible for tomato color has demonstrated potential health benefits that create premium market opportunities. Wastewater treatment systems handle the substantial volumes of processed water generated during tomato processing. Modern facilities employ biological treatment systems that remove organic contaminants while producing water suitable for irrigation or discharge. Biogas production from organic processing waste provides renewable energy for plant operations. Anaerobic digestion systems convert organic matter into methane that can be burned for steam generation or electricity production. Composting operations convert organic waste into valuable soil amendments that can be sold to agricultural operations or landscape suppliers. Properly managed composting produces high-quality organic matter while reducing waste disposal costs. The nutritional value of processed tomato products often exceeds that of fresh tomatoes due to concentration effects and improved bioavailability of certain compounds. Lycopene, the antioxidant compound responsible for red color, becomes more available for human absorption after processing and heating. Processing also concentrates vitamins and minerals, with tomato paste containing much higher levels of potassium, vitamin C, and folate per serving than fresh tomatoes. However, some heat-sensitive vitamins may be reduced during high-temperature processing. The high lycopene content in processed tomato products has attracted attention for potential health benefits, including cardiovascular health and cancer prevention. Research continues into optimal processing conditions that maximize these beneficial compounds while maintaining product quality. Umami flavor compounds in tomatoes become more concentrated during processing, contributing to the savory taste that makes tomato products valuable ingredients in cuisines worldwide. These natural flavor enhancers explain why processed tomato products often taste more intensely tomatoey than fresh fruit. Environmental considerations in tomato processing include water usage, energy consumption, and waste management. Processing 1 ton of fresh tomatoes typically requires 3 to 5 tons of water for washing, cooling, and cleaning operations. Water recycling systems reduce freshwater requirements while treating wastewater to environmental standards before discharge. Some facilities achieve water recycling rates exceeding 70% through advanced treatment and reuse systems. Energy efficiency improvements include heat recovery systems that capture waste heat from processing operations for use in other plant areas. Combined heat and power systems use natural gas to generate both electricity and steam, improving overall energy efficiency. Sustainable packaging initiatives include lightweighting containers to reduce material usage and developing recyclable packaging materials that minimize environmental impact. Some facilities have reduced packaging material usage by over 20% through design optimization. Carbon footprint reduction efforts include transportation efficiency improvements, renewable energy adoption, and supply chain optimization that minimizes environmental impact while maintaining economic competitiveness. Soil health in tomato production fields benefits from crop rotation programs that include cover crops and nitrogen-fixing legumes. These practices maintain soil fertility while reducing dependence on synthetic fertilizers. Integrated pest management reduces pesticide usage through biological controls, resistant varieties, and precision application techniques that target specific pest problems while preserving beneficial insect populations. Water conservation in tomato farming includes deficit irrigation strategies that optimize water use efficiency while maintaining acceptable yields and quality. Precision irrigation systems apply water only when and where needed, reducing overall water consumption. Precision agriculture technologies including GPS guidance, variable rate application systems, and yield mapping help optimize input usage while maximizing productivity. These systems can reduce fertilizer and pesticide usage while improving overall farm profitability. The transformation of fresh tomatoes into shelf-stable products demonstrates the remarkable capabilities of modern food processing technology. From precision agriculture that produces billions of pounds of raw materials to automated processing systems that operate at incredible scale and speed, tomato processing represents the pinnacle of agricultural industrialization. The coordination required to harvest, transport, and process over 4 million pounds of fresh fruit daily while maintaining consistent quality and food safety standards showcases the sophisticated supply chain management that feeds our global food system. Computer-controlled systems, robotic equipment, and automated quality assurance programs work together seamlessly to transform perishable agricultural products into stable foods with extended shelf lives. Throughout this three-part journey, we've explored how modern agriculture has evolved far beyond traditional farming into sophisticated industrial operations that combine cutting-edge technology with biological systems. From the precision farming techniques that optimize coffee cherry development to the complex chemical processes that extract oil from peanuts, and finally to the massive automated systems that process billions of tomatoes, each operation demonstrates humanity's remarkable ability to scale natural processes to meet global demand. The coffee industry showed us how geographic specialization and international coordination create supply chains spanning multiple continents. Precision farming techniques, sophisticated processing methods, and global distribution networks work together to deliver consistent quality from remote mountain farms to local cafes worldwide. Peanut oil processing revealed how modern facilities achieve near zero waste through integrated systems that utilize every component of the original crop. Mechanical extraction, solvent recovery, and comprehensive refining processes demonstrate the chemical engineering expertise that transforms agricultural commodities into refined food ingredients. Tomato processing culminated our exploration with operations of almost incomprehensible scale, where automation and precision control enable the processing of billions of pounds of fresh produce annually. These facilities represent the ultimate expression of agricultural industrialization, combining biological production systems with advanced manufacturing technologies. Each of these operations employs thousands of skilled workers while supporting rural communities that depend on agricultural processing for economic stability. From farm equipment operators and processing plant technicians to quality control specialists and logistics coordinators, modern food processing creates diverse employment opportunities that extend far beyond traditional farming. The technological sophistication we've witnessed throughout this series continues advancing through ongoing research and development. Artificial intelligence systems optimize processing parameters while reducing energy consumption and waste generation. Robotic systems handle materials with precision that exceeds human capabilities while operating in environments that would be challenging for human workers. Sustainability initiatives across all three industries demonstrate how modern agriculture can balance productivity with environmental responsibility. Water recycling systems, renewable energy adoption, and waste conversion programs show that large-scale food processing can operate profitably while minimizing environmental impact. Looking forward, these industries face challenges including climate change adaptation, resource conservation, and evolving consumer preferences for sustainable and healthy foods. However, the innovative capacity demonstrated throughout our exploration suggests that agricultural processing will continue evolving to meet these challenges while feeding a growing global population. The next time you enjoy your morning coffee, cook with peanut oil, or add ketchup to your meal, remember the incredible journey these products have taken from field to your table. Behind each simple food item lies a complex network of farmers, processors, scientists, and logistics specialists working together to transform raw agricultural materials into the products that stock our grocery stores and restaurants. From precision farming that optimizes plant genetics and growing conditions to automated processing systems that operate at massive scale with minimal human intervention, modern agriculture represents one of humanity's greatest technological achievements. The coordination required to produce, process, and distribute food for billions of people worldwide demonstrates what's possible when scientific knowledge, technological innovation, and human ingenuity work together toward common goals. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through modern food processing. If you found this exploration fascinating, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to AgriCraft for more inside looks at the agricultural technologies that feed our world. Leave a comment below sharing which part of this processing journey surprised you most, and let us know what other agricultural operations you'd like us to explore in future videos. The story of modern agriculture continues evolving every day, with new technologies and techniques constantly improving efficiency, sustainability, and product quality. Stay tuned to AgriCraft as we continue exploring the fascinating world where traditional farming meets cutting-edge technology to create the food system that sustains our modern world.